EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchant here with your outlook for November 30th, 2021, the final day of the month of November. We're finally moving into December and the start of meteorological winter tomorrow. Of course, I don't really go by that because I think our seasons are pretty much aligned with what the calendar says it should be. So don't get excited about that meteorological winter definition, which starts tomorrow. But anyway, I think we have a little foretaste of things today. We're going to see some snowflakes in a lot of areas, at least at a minimum. How much sticks is still yet to be determined because we have the temperatures going to be above freezing. I do think it falls as snow from the sky, and you could have some, some spots where you get, coating to maybe as much as a half inch in most areas. And once you get up the elevations, there's the opportunity for a coating to an inch or closer to an inch, between a half inch and an inch. That's pretty much what we're dealing with today. Another one of these little weak waves moving through the region. Here's the NAM high-res future simulated radar. Starting this off at 6 a.m. and it's just about coming into our western portions of our coverage area at this point and works its way eastward through late morning, actually early afternoon before it starts tapering off the showers. This actually makes it all the way to parts of northern New Jersey before exiting. But the total snow, if I move this over to a snow map, because we did not issue one for such a minor event, you can see there's a lot of coating to half-inch stuff in the lower elevations. Once you get up in the higher elevations here, there's some little spots here that are getting up a little bit higher than a half-inch of accumulation from this event, if you want to call it that. Maybe some areas out here by State College. If I switch this over to European model, this is another one showing the same thing. Generally coating to maybe a half-inch along the fringe areas, 78 and south. Once you get up here by closer to I-80 in the higher elevations, you're half-inch to an inch. And a little spot up here by State College, Williamsport, might get slightly over an inch before this moves eastward. But these are the usual colder spots in the interior, so you have a little bit better chance. If you're starting off as snow at 36 degrees, or even cooler than that, you're going to have an easier time for when the snow falls to lower the temperatures a little bit and get some areas to stick. And especially, this should be mostly a non-paved surface accumulation deal today because it's falling during the day. The one over the weekend, Saturday night into Sunday morning, was not during the day. That was, we didn't have the sun to battle and some radiational heating or anything like that from the roadway. So I think there is the opportunity for some slushy accumulations when you get up in here, up in north central Pennsylvania, but I really don't think you're going to have too many issues elsewhere, except for maybe in the highest elevations of northeast PA. So that's going to move out pretty quickly, again, ending fairly quickly early to mid-afternoon, and then it's out of here. Once that leaves, we get to Wednesday, and Wednesday should remain mostly cloudy. It start off partly cloudy, and then it becomes mostly cloudy later in the day. We have another little weak disturbance coming at us. Could start in northeast PA as a little bit of light snow. This is not a lot of precipitation with this wave either. So it might start off with like a mix or some snowflakes to start, and then you go over to rain showers on later in Wednesday night into Thursday morning. This is just a very quick wave. There is no real cold push behind this one. This second wave that's moving off to our north on Thursday night will drag a cold front through our region. It should be a dry front for the most part, but once it does so, we get a little bit colder here for Friday through the weekend, okay? Now we're going to keep an eye on the next system here that the GFS and others are showing, cutting to our west here. There's going to be late in the weekend, so it looks like Sunday night into Monday, there's a chance for showers with this particular low cutting off to our west. Most guidance keeps it off to our west. We are going to assume that that's correct, but there is the opportunity for changes if the cold air is a little bit more entrenched in this area, and this takes a different track more closer to the benchmark further east, which is I-95 region. I just lost my spot here. So if it does, in fact, track a little bit further east, we could get a little bit more of a wintry component with this one, but I don't think this is the one that is a really... as far as our storm signals are concerned in our long range, we really weren't highlighting this one as the chance for snow. Maybe far interior northern New England for this, and obviously places like Michigan that are going to be into this, parts of Ohio. But we might change the snow here at the very end of this system, but the back end of systems typically don't work out for snow. It's the next one behind this we're going to keep an eye on. This falls in our storm signal period and would come between that 8th and 12th period that we highlighted. I think it's going to be toward the earlier part of the period, maybe 8th to 10th now, if I want to narrow it down a little bit. But there's an opportunity for some winter precipitation with that. that is in our storm signal period. So we'll keep an eye on a couple of them next week. This is not something that's just going to go away. And we have, some colder temperatures right now. They are going to moderate a little bit this week ahead of that front on Thursday. And then we'll start going back down over the weekend, Friday through Sunday. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs. You're just going to need to time these in order if you want snow. You're going to have to time these with the cold air, and it's going to become a timing issue for much of the first half of December. Once we get into the second half, it might become a little bit easier. We don't have to rely on timing of day or track of systems as much if a little bit more cold air is involved at that time, but we have a long way to go to get there. So just look like for the next 2 weeks we're going to have this up and down pattern. If you want snow out of it, even if just to start or a portion of the storm, you're going to need to have a perfectly timed system to coincide with the cold shots that we do get over the next 2 weeks. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for November 30th, 2021. Have a great Tuesday.